Hey everybody, greetings from Kensington. Hope everybody's having a blessed day. I was listening to a song and it was one of those songs that totally represent a lot of the trauma I've been through. And I'm grateful for the artist who, is encouraging me to make this video and post it. A lot of women go through a lot of sexual abuse out here, and never speak about it, and a lot of us don't even survive. Constant missing posters, and I was fortunate enough to survive and escape after being held captive and raped, abused. I was on the news 10 years ago from being pistol whipped so many times that my skull was cracked open and had to be stapled shut. And another time held captive at someone's house and called 911, and 911 hung up on me. And when I was able to escape and go to the police and they located the 911 call, they still wouldn't go to the person's house without me being able to take them there myself, when I couldn't remember exactly which house it was. I mean, my mind was so frazzled. And it turns out they're actually looking for this guy. He's got long dreadlocks, about 300 pounds, real tall, like 6'6". And, he almost caught me again, but I got out of the car before he realized who I was and picked up another girl who I ended up seeing a missing poster of. And now I'm reading that they're looking for him for countless murders when they could have done something when I made the report and they had the 911 call and could have located him themselves. A lot of my friends have died that way. And I recently made another report from another guy who I was able to escape from the car just barely, unlocking the door and hopping out from under him when he got up to turn the alarm off. Running through the parking lot, undressed, and the cops just don't do anything. It's almost as if we're worthless, and the only thing we're good for is just busting us for getting high. Not even realizing that some of us have been so victimized out here that that's why we do the drugs we do, and why we are the way we are. I hope that, this post makes it out there to give other women strength to talk about their experiences and how they got through them. Another guy with no door handles on the inside so you couldn't escape. My quick thinking led me to use my foot and hold the horn down till it started turning lights on in houses at 3 o'clock in the morning, and getting thrown out the car, no jacket, snowing, losing my purse. There's a silver car going around picking up girls and killing them, posing them over in New Jersey, and nothing's being done about it. None of the police officers are actually going to try to find these guys, but they're quick to arrest anybody who has any drugs on them or is getting high. And as far as that goes, there's countless people dying in the jails out here now. And I'll post another video on that later, but I mean, what is it gonna take, for us who are homeless or, trying to get out of the situations we're in? What's it gonna take for us to be cared about? You know? I mean, it's like we're worthless. And until somebody or a group of people start, talking about their experiences, the cops aren't going to do anything out here. And there's even cops that'll sit there and do the same thing. That'll sit there and they'll rape us and say, if you don't want to go to jail, then just do as I say. I've seen. I mean, the song is right. Speak up. I mean, the more of us that talk about what's going on out here, maybe something will finally get done. I remember my son's father wouldn't take child support money, but he'd make me sleep with him, and he'd be violent with me to the point where I had to have my son in a different state because the OBGYN told me that I was a high risk pregnancy, and during an exam saw that I was, overly taken advantage of. I mean, those were the worst experiences of my life. Wanting to spend time with my kids, wanting to see my kids, and the only way I could see my son was to have to, be basically my son's father's hoe. And that's the only way I'd be able to see him. I mean, speak up. Anybody else who's been victimized, speak up. The more of us that work together to stop this, the more of a chance we have. I mean, anybody who walks through Kensington, look at all the missing posters. Not everybody can think quickly when something dangerous happens. I've been fortunate enough to survive, and just barely. And maybe it's so I can tell my story. Maybe somebody will be able to learn from this. Have a blessed day. And remember, we're all worth it. Anything can be replaced. Money, houses, cars, but people can't.